Good day. Today we're going to look at parallel lines and transversals. Parallel lines are coplanar lines that do not intersect. Coplanar, if you look at an XY graph, as an example, means it has the same dimensions being, in this case, X and Y. They never touch, they're parallel, they are coplanar, never touch. You denote this with arrows on the lines. So in symbolic notation for the diagram on the left, line AB is parallel to line CD. The two upward slashes means parallel. And you can say the same thing about planes. If you have two different planes that do not intersect, they can be parallel, such as J and K below. Skew lines. Skew lines are non-coplanar lines that do not intersect. Now I have some examples listed for you. Let me show you what this means. If I take any one of these lines, such as U to Q, if I draw on the rectangles that is touching this line, being U, V, R, Q, and U, T, P, Q, those are coplanar lines. Those are lines that will touch something in the plane formed by the line UQ. So if I want a line that does not touch UQ, that is not on the same plane, I can pick any line that I do not currently have dashed in pink. So it could be WS, WV, WT, SP, SR, anything that does not touch, that is not those dashed lines, is good for a coplanar, non-coplanar line that does not intersect. Alright, let's look at some examples of these. Name all segments parallel to AE. Well, AE is this vertical line. So I have HD, GC, and FB. Alright, there we go. Give two examples of parallel planes. Well, I'm going to pick the top and bottom one. So, plane EHG. Now, this is sufficient because I have three coordinates, or you can go and put on the F if you want, and the bottom, AD, CB. Go ahead and try to do another one. I'll show you an answer key for this part shortly. Name all segments skew to GH. There are 4 of them. I'm going to do one of them. So GH is this line, which means I do not want any of these on the rectangles. So the line that I'm going to pick to write down is AD. Pause the video, see if you can get the other 3. Name all segments parallel to JK. Here's JK. The only parallel segment I have to this is OP. All segments parallel to NS. This would be MR, LQ, KP, and JO. Name a plane parallel to JKL. So the plane it's talking about is from JKL. So it's talking about this shape. So OPQ. Name 4 segments skew to RQ. I'm going to let you try this one. So pause it. Now let me show you the answer key to this first page. Alright. Let's talk about transversals now. Transversal is a line that intersects at least 2 lines. So in this example on the left, the diagram, the line T is the transversal. For angle pairs of this transversal, you have corresponding angles. These are on the same side and in the same position. You have alternate interior, you have alternate exterior, and consecutive interior. So, corresponding angles. I'm going to give you one example of each and see if you can find the other examples. I'll do 2 for corresponding since there's 4, but anyway. Corresponding angles. 1 is in the top left position on line L. 5 is on the top left position on line M. Angle 1 and 5 are corresponding. I could choose 4 and 8 for the bottom left. Try the other 2. Alternate interior. They're on the inside in between the lines and on opposite sides. So, 4 and 6 is an example. Alternate exterior. They're on the outside of the lines on opposite sides of the transversal, like 2 and 8. Consecutive interior. They're on the inside on the same side, so like 4 and 5. Okay, pause it if you haven't already wrote down the other ones. Here is what they are. Name the type of angle relation. If no relation, type or write none. So, 1 and 8. Here's 1. Here's 8. They are both on the outside. This is alternate exterior. Try B through F. This one's not very difficult. I want to go to number 2 where it's a little bit more information here. Alright, number 5 and 13. 5 and 13 are on the same side. These are corresponding. I said same side, same position is a better statement. Seven and 14. They're on opposite sides of the interior. Alternate interior. Now I'm going to look down through these real quick. Let's look at 4 and 7 for E. These are on the same side on the interior, so these are consecutive. Interior. Let's look at H. 6 and 11. These are none. They are no relation. Because 6 touches lines B and C. 11 only touches lines A and D. They do not have a line in common. Alright. Go ahead and try these. Pause it. Here's the answer. Now, here's the really neat part of this. If we have parallel lines that are cut by a transversal, we can get congruent and supplementary angles for each problem. So, if L is parallel to M, classify the marked angle pair and give their relationship. Then solve for X. For number 1, you have 58 degrees and 5x minus 2. This is corresponding. They are both in the top right position. So 58 equals 5x minus 2. I'm going to add 2 to both sides. 60 is equal to 5x. Divide by 5. And 12 is equal to x. This one is finished. Let's look at number 3. These are alternate interior angles. They are congruent. 7x minus 1 is equal to 125. Now, I'm going to let you solve this one, but I did get it set up there for you. I'm going to set up number 4. Number 4 says 9x plus 2 and 133 degrees on the same side on the interior. These are consecutive interior. Because these are consecutive interior, they are supplementary. Therefore, 9x plus 2 plus 133 equals 180. 9x plus 135 equals 180. I'm going to subtract that 135 on both sides. Divided by my 9. X is equal to 5. number 8. For number 8, I know that these are supplementary because these two angles are alternate exterior, which are congruent. Therefore, this is 9x minus 33, and this sums to 180 on the line M. So 5x plus 3 plus 9x minus 33 equals 180. I believe you can solve this one from here. So I will encourage you to go ahead and pause the video and try numbers 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and 8. I'm going to show you the answer for those, and then we'll look at number 9. As you can see on this answer key, I have not written out how to solve the equations for some of them. I did set up the equation for you though. You can check your answer. Okay, last one. If L is parallel to M, find the value of both x and y. Well, I know for my x's, this is alternate interior, so they are congruent. 8x minus 31 is equal to 6x plus 3. I'm going to add 31, subtract 6x. So 2x is going to be equal to 34, so x is equal to 17. Alright, now we have a choice. We can either say 5y plus 35 plus either one of the angles, that's your choice, so the 6x plus 3 or 8x minus 31 is equal to 180. Now for me, the easier one to work with is the 6x plus 3. So 5y plus 35. By the way, this is consecutive interior, but 5y plus 35 plus 6x, which I know is 17, plus 3 is equal to 180. This is 5y plus 140 equals 180. I'm going to subtract 140 on both sides. So 5y is equal to 40. Divide by 5. Y is equal to 8. So my answers are x equals 17 and y equals 8. That is all I have for you today. I hope you have a great rest of your day.